Hi guys, my name is Darren and I do these daily updates on Ukraine. And much of what I do in these updates is I try to clarify and provide some kind of framework to understand daily events. And essentially it's sense making. Now, sometimes I screw up and I screwed up again. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Yesterday, I was talking about Russia declared a terrorist state. And I was drawing on the article about how PACE recognizes Putin's regime as Russia as a terrorist. Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe voted 99 affirmative to only one abstention to declare Russia a terrorist. But I inadvertently said that this was the EU. Now, it's not the EU. The EU is, and here's the thing. Here's the hard evidence where I was wrong. The video talks about what happened today. The EU voted 99-0. I have since changed that language where it's not the EU. It's this Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, which is not related to the EU. Now, I want to say thank you to Abturtormer, Abtrtomr, who replied, one Turkish MP abstained. This is PACE, not the EU. Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe with 46 parliaments represented. EU has 27 members currently. Thank you. You get the trophy for being awesome and pointing that out. If I say something wrong, please point out my flaws. Help me see things clearly, because then I can fix what needs to be fixed in the very next video if it's at all possible. So we all grow together. We're going to learn together. And I thank you. I don't mind being corrected at all. In fact, if you have other sources that you think I ought to be paying attention to, tell me what those are. I mean, we all want the best information that we can get. Okay, so I went out and I looked at, now I've been over this ground before to look at the EU. If you're not European, I mean, maybe it's just you guys get it. But if you're not European, this is a little hard to wrap your mind around. This is the schematic for how the EU works. And so there's a European Council, then there's the Council of the European Union, and then there's the European Parliament. And this is all kind of legislative. And then you get down to the executive, which is the European Commission, and there's a president of the European Parliament and a president of the Commission. Then there's at least a Court of Justice, it's judiciary, and the central bank. That's how Europe works. Now, I found this confusing, and I had to go through a learning curve on this, and I wrote my doctoral dissertation on the leadership assumptions of American statesmen during the Federal Convention and ratification debates. So I can tell you pretty much anything about how the U.S. Constitution was created, formed, what the Founding Fathers were thinking. I can quote some of these guys, but the European Union is a bit of a learning curve for me. So I apologize. It was the Parliamentary Assembly. They are not the EU. They don't have legislative like lawmaking power, so they're an extra legal body. I guess it's somewhat more like a group like the G7 that meets. That's different than if the American Congress met. So it's that kind of thing. But so I thank you again for your time and your patience listening to me. I have already changed it to that the Parliamentary of the Council of Europe voted 99-0, not the EU. And so forgive me my error. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I want to be corrected. I want to make sure that I'm putting out the very best information that I can, because you're here because you care about Ukraine, and I thank you for that.